Hi, welcome back to Carla Astrology. Today we are moving on to the ESFJ, and the ESFJ, um, they're extroverts, uh, they're sensory, feeling, and judging. ESFJ. They are Carl Jung associates the ESFJ with the King of Pentacles. So when I think of the King of Pentacles, just myself, I think of, the ultimate provider, the person that is capable of taking on all that responsibility. So the Myers-Briggs calls the ESFJ the consul. So, and that is a person who's appointed by a government to live in a foreign country to promote its country. So, imagine that person and the responsibility that he or she has their job is to represent a whole country. That's a big responsibility. So that association, I think, says a lot about this personality. Their strengths are they have strong practical skills, earth, strong sense of duty, very loyal, sensitive and warm, and good at connecting with others. The weaknesses are that they could be too needy, when they're off balance. They could be, or too selfless, worried about their social status, inflexible or reluctant to improvise, vulnerable to criticism. So again, with every positive there's a negative. So I mean, we want to see the most balanced individual. So with that being said, that's what we're kind of looking for in our hands. These would be the signs of that. So Jupiter, I believe, is a mount that is going to, for most of your extroverted personality, I believe, will have a fairly decent sized Jupiter. Saturn, there are different takes on Saturn. So I will clarify here. I think Saturn represents the humanitarians. So if it's, a fairly good sized mount, then I believe that represents that. But there are those that believe a humanitarian is also going to be an introvert. So this is, again, these are just my opinions, but I believe that the difference would be a firm mount to me would represent somebody that is more maybe introverted in their thoughts, because they're very firm and they're not like in a flamboyant way. So like an extrovert, I would think flamboyant and maybe excessive. So I would say maybe that mount might be big, but it could be fleshy, like very easy to push in or whatever. So, and Saturn is right here. Mercury, I believe that, Mercury is going to be a very good size mount. Why? Because Mercury, again, is about communication. These are where you find your sharp, clever people. So granted, it does represent air. It's business-minded and it's communicative. So the extroverts are going to, have that. This is a person that is can sense things. So also, I believe that Venus is going to be big, and Venus is right here. Venus is, just not, it's not just about, love and like the appreciation of beauty, because you find a lot of that with the moon. It's also about our appetite for stuff. The lifeline actually encompasses Venus, which is kind of an indication that it is about our vitality. So it could be of a sexual nature, or just being very physical. So it also indicates people that are generous. So, and I believe that the king of Pentacles or the Console, the ESFJ is going to be very generous. So I do believe you're going to see a very good sized Venus. I believe that the outer Mars is going to be big because of the willpower that it takes, you know, the loyalty to it. So the thumb, and I don't know if you can see this on here, but I should have shown you before. So like the thumb carries our logic and our willpower. So a good sized thumb, a strong thumb, like even mine is curved a little bit, so it kind of takes away from it. And it's kind of, I mean, it's, if you're looking at the thumb, my thumb is a medium-sized thumb. It's wasted, which is a sign of intelligence. So like an extremely wasted, and when I say wasted, I mean like it is smaller around here. That indicates intelligence. But you know, I've seen people like with an extreme wasted thumb and then like big. That's like an ideal thumb, okay? Mine's average. And the more that it, you know, curves is kind of like the more you let roll, things will like kind of roll off, you know. That includes money. You know, there it goes. What? Oh, shoot. But this one is not as much. So, see, I was born with the potential to hold on to it. And it just kind of, you know, c'est la vie. So, anyway, so I thought I would point that out when I'm talking about a strong thumb. That is a good sized thumb. And like, you know, you can always tell how far away it sits from the hand. Maybe, you know what? I need to do a video just on the thumb. So be looking for that one. So the shape of the hand, I do believe is going to be earth. You know, and those, and I believe, you know, your big hands, there's square palm, and the fingers will be probably the same length as the palm, but an earth palm does have like shorter fingers. So, and shorter fingers show practicality. So, and I think you're going to see that. But the reason I say the longer fingers too is because, you know, those are your philosophical people, and you're probably going to see maybe like a short finger or a long finger, you know, a blended hand. But definitely I do believe you're going to see a square palm. So, gee, look at me. I wasn't really very clear on that, was I? But earth hand is with the shorter fingers. So, and long finger are people that pay attention to detail. Shorter finger is kind of, you know, the practical, just let's get this done. Let's see, what else? Oh, yes. The major lines in the hand. So, I do believe that, you know, with this personality, with a person that's practical, a practical person is, to me, somebody that just doesn't let the little things get to them, you know, because they just, you know, that is not important. What's important is getting this done, you know. So I do believe that these are going to be, again, deep lines. And I think they're, maybe the hand won't have a lot of little lines. But again, it could, because when we're not balanced and we let stress take a hold because we're worrying about all the little things, then that can happen. Just like, you know, I had said that the weaknesses is they could be too selfless or needy, you know, because they're struggling. So it doesn't mean that they won't have all the little lines, but for a truly balanced ESFJ, I believe that they will have fewer of those little lines. So the heart line, I believe, is going to actually start in Jupiter, because those are the people that are extremely loyal. You know, no bullshit, no head games, just loyalty. But that also means it could start in here, in between the Saturn and the Jupiter. And again, I think it's going to be straighter, maybe not as curved, even though I drew a kind of a curved line. I think it's going to be straighter because these are also no nonsense, you know. I do believe we'll see some healer lines, you know, because these are people that they'll fight for you. I believe the headline is going to be straight. And I drew the little line, not so much that it would be a fork, but I believe that it could point up to Jupiter. We talked about that rare person that starts in Jupiter. You know, leadership qualities there. See what else do I... Oh, I got the strong thumb. And yes, again, the straighter the better. I think Lifeline is a little bit of something that I haven't really talked too much about with the last two personalities, because I think that Lifeline is more about, you know, our physical vitality. Not seeing, I think it'll be deep, but as far as whether it's short or broken, I think some things are beyond our control. So, and I think sometimes the Lifeline shows that, like the little auspicious type signs that you see could vary. The unlucky signs are going to vary because life happens. So, but your major lines kind of show how you deal with that when it happens. I think that one was pretty short and sweet and straight to the point. That's it. So the next thing we're going to talk about, before I forget, color also does indicate things, but color is going to be, like, let me just run through it real quick. So it's just something to look for. It doesn't necessarily indicate the personality. So like white means that they lack energy. And it could possibly be anemia, because your hands also show your health too. And that's why I also said before, if you have an injury that leads to it, maybe like a deformity type thing in your hands, you can't really count that. So even arthritis will like make our fingers do weird things. So yellow means resentment and envy. Pink is supportive, it's emphatic, it's empathy, it's healthy. Blue is sad, but could mean poor circulation. And red is a lot of energy and possibly somebody that is easily angered. So in these videos, I also cover a little bit of chirognomy, which is the shape of the hand and the mounts, and chiromancy, which is the lines. So just so that this isn't just one or the other. Okay, and the next 4 videos are going to be about the queen personalities, and that is the INTJ, the INFJ, the ISTJ, and the ISFJ. So these are all the personalities that start with an I and end with a J. And they are associated with the queens in the tarot according to Carl Jung's code or the table that he uses. So I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoy putting these out there and sharing my opinions on how I see the hands. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thank you.